Hello and welcome to Alma. This is episode 12 and we're into December, and as you can see the winter has arrived. Snowing. Right, so we just have a quick look at the cows, plenty of food and loads of milk. So we've got to deal with the milk. First thing we need is something to transport it. So there's over 26,000 litres there, so we need something that's got a bit of capacity and that can be handled by the vehicles that we have. We don't have a truck to transport it, so we'll use this Lizard or SMP 3.0. Takes 10,000 litres. We'll paint it white just so that we know it's for milk, and it's pretty cheap, $2,500. So it's going to be a couple of trips down to town to go and deliver this. So let's go and pick up the first load. As I said, just painted it white so that we know it can only be used for milk. And of course, just thinking about our trailer park that we put up in the last, immediately we have no space to park another trailer. Oh, isn't that just always the case? In any case, I did make a plan. I put the bale loader into the hangar shed, just because we won't be using it during winter, and then we can adjust things as we go. In any case, that's the first load, 10,000 litres up, and we'll head into town and we'll see you once we get to the main road. Right, so I think the dairy is, I put the mark on, it's just at the top there. We'll just pop in there, and I want to buy it, so gave the bank manager a bit of a ring. He said he was in the office quite early, so said I could pop over and we'll do a bit of high finance. So let me just pop over. The bank's just over the road. The bank and the post office are in the same building. It's a small town. But they've pretty much geared up, especially on the banking side, for agricultural finance. We still have a reasonable credit line, so just a question of drawing down some more. So we've got about 800,000. We'll take another 250,000. So we'll buy the dairy. So the bank manager did say, look, we're starting to push up the sort of monthly repayments, so he suggested that we take this over 10 years and then make an early repayment once we start making decent money. So we're over 10 grand in monthly payments to the bank in terms of loans and interest, and we're going to have to cover that pretty much every month out of your income rather than the loans. Right, so let's go and get this thing bought. I didn't even look to see how much it cost. 70 grand. It's not too bad. So the only thing that we don't own in terms of the pizza production supply chain is the flour mill. And I think we don't need to get it just yet. We've got to wait for the wheat to grow. So maybe not get it just yet, but who knows. Just missed the trigger. Spent a bit of time faffing around trying to find the trigger, but I eventually found it. It's a little bit further out than I thought it was. In any case, now we know where it is. Not a problem. One thing about this trailer is pretty slow to unload, but it's 10,000 litres. I think the next best is 8,000 odd litres that this tractor can handle. So yeah, we lose a bit of time, but we can transport 2,000 more litres every trip. Makes a difference, I think. Right, let's get this activated. So we only want to produce cheese here for now. So let's deactivate the butter and deactivate that, and we'll deactivate. We couldn't do chocolate because we don't have any sugar in any of it, but we'll deactivate it and everything. And cheese production full on. Right, I'm going to set the cheese. I didn't do it now. I do it later on, but I set the cheese to distribute so that it'll supply the pizzeria directly. The idea is that during the winter we'll just stock up in the pizzeria cheese and ketchup, so that once we get our wheat harvesting and we get our flour mill going, we'll hopefully be just about full of on cheese and ketchup, and that'll keep the production going at a nice pace. Right, so we're going to put another load in down there. So I put in 3 loads of 10,000, and just just a little word of warning around here. If you're bringing milk into the dairy, the bakery trigger point for milk is kind of just before you get into the dairy, so it can, I think, be a little bit confusing. You might end up delivering to the bakery instead of the dairy if you're not careful. So just be aware of that if you're ever playing the game. It's not a really serious problem. It's just something to be aware of. I did drive in and did a double take, as you saw. I reversed in there. Whoops. A little bit rough going around that corner. In any case, let's get back to the farm. Maybe we just have a quick stop at the pizzeria and just have a look and see how if there's anything else. I'm pretty sure it was just flour, cheese and ketchup, because I was a bit surprised by the cheese. So flour, ketchup and cheese. So it's 5 flour to 1 of each of the other. So if we get those filled up, and then the flour production will be pretty quick. Right, we get back to the farm and we'll load up another load to bring in. So it's the turning circle here is pretty tight. Right, so this is the last little bit, just over 6,000 litres, and I'm going to sell that just to bring in some income. We're going to have to be aware of trying to bring some income every month during the winter. Right, so best price was at the diner, so we'll pop off to the diner and we'll go and deliver that. See how much we make here. Hopefully it'll cover the next month's bank loans and interest. So we're looking for anything over 10 grand. we've still got one purchase to make before the end of this year. We need to get a slurry tanker. We've got quite a bit of slurry sitting on the farm, and I need to move that as well. It'll bring a little bit of income in, not much. That's not bad. It's just over 13,000 for the milk. 13,456, I think it was. So yeah, that covers next month's income. We'll be getting a little bit of other income as well. So I think what we'll do is we've got some tomatoes to go in. We'll we'll sell the ketchup that we have at the ketchup factory, and then we'll switch this production to distribute as well. Sell what's there, and then from now onwards, so the tomatoes that we deliver now, that once converted to ketchup, will go directly to the pizzeria. So let's hook up the trailer. We'll go and load up. I think there's 12 pallets, so 6,000 litres of tomatoes, and I think we'll be able to put through another healthy load in the next couple of months during winter as well. Let's go and get the tomatoes loaded. Oh, doesn't look like the auto load is working. Maybe I was too far. Let's have a look and see. It's probably not switched on. Let's get that sorted out. So just have to struggling a little bit with the controller, trying to get the auto load switched on. I think I'll just switch back to mouse and keyboard. There, that worked. Yeah, so I use a Xbox controller. Most things can be operated, but every now and again I have to switch back to the mouse and keyboard. Not a major issue. It's loading up nice and easily now. I wonder why it always leaves that gap. It's not going to be a serious problem this time around, because we're not going to get a full load. Let's strap that up, and we'll head off down to the ketchup factory and get that delivered. We'll see you down there. Oh, we're just about there. So we'll go and offload this, and as I mentioned, we'll change the factory to distributing. So this should then distribute to the pizzeria. At least I'm hoping it does. We'll find out next month. Oh dear. Yeah, so there's quite a bit of tomato sauce up there. Ketchup. Get that offloaded. And we'll just have a look and see if the auto load works on those ketchup bottles. because as I mentioned in I think the last episode or the episode before, it's a bit of a time consuming exercise loading the ketchup bottles on. We get that changed over to distributing. There we go. Nice. Let's go and load up those ketchup bottles and get them sold. So we'll take the profit from there. Hopefully it'll be a decent amount of profit, and then we'll have made enough income to cover the next couple of months of bank interest, just in case we don't. Oh, it does auto load, but oh yeah, pretty funny. I'll manual load the next load. Just let's strap those in. Oh dear. Wonder if I'd put it the sides up, if it would have looked better. I don't know. Strap it in. I think I did move it down a little bit, but no, they're still stuck in mid-air. I'll just go and get those delivered and see what happens. I love it. I love it. Yeah, it's a bit tight, this yard of the ketchup factory. It's not the ideal turning circle. I suppose we should be reversing in or something, but right. So it's only the diner and the pizzeria, but we're going to sell this load. Oh, sorry mate, that was my fault. Luckily your brakes are good. Oh, I see the train. I think I was just mentioning it in the last episode that I hadn't seen the train. And yeah, so it's only about there. The boom is not very visible, especially in this early morning winter gloom. Let's see if how this will offload. So as soon as I undid the straps, they all fell down. Still, it's only 2,000 odd litres at a time. We can hand load those. Take a little bit of a while, but we'll do it on a bit of a time lapse when we get back there, and we'll just hand load everything. So that was about 9,000, 10,000 dollars. That's not bad. And we've got a load still left. So yeah, good money, ketchup. We'll get the rest of this put in, and that'll bring us a decent amount of money and give us a bit of income for the winter months to cover those bank loans. I mean, I took out more than I needed to buy the cheese, to buy the dairy. So we won't be short of money during the winter. We've only got that one purchase really to do. Just because I wanted to take out enough so that we could buy the flour and mill as soon as we need it. Yeah, so this is 4 times speed loading up. I did try to do it 8 times speed, but it was really manic. Just because it's such a sharp movement from the pickup to. So I think this is the last time we'll really show the manual loading, because as you will recall, we've set it to distributing, so it's going to go straight into the pizzeria. once we're fully stocked there, we'll be able to sell it as well, and we'll still do the manual loading, but won't put you through the trauma of watching me hand load bottles and bottles of red ketchup. It's getting quite full. Well, they're not really very efficiently arranged. They just dumped on. They don't have far to go. We've only got to go down the drag to deliver them to the diner. The diner's certainly well stocked with ketchup at the moment. I wonder if that's something to think about. I don't know if there's a farm shop on the map. Need to investigate that. It might be something that's worth investing in the future. Building a farm shop that we can. I'll have to have a look at that. Just to create another sale point, really. Just a bit of sale competition, price competition. Might get better prices. That's the other thing, by the way. Because I started on new farmer mode, we obviously started on easy economy, and I didn't change that. And I think that's why we got such a huge haul of milk when we came in after resting between the last month and this month. So I've set it to normal. I prefer to play on normal, sometimes hard. So I don't think we'll get as big a production, and certainly not as good a price for the milk and the ketchup in the next time we look to sell into the market. Just thought it was worth mentioning. So I have changed it, and we at this point, because I'm doing this as a voiceover, at this point now we were still on easy mode, so we're still going to get good money for this batch, and we'll still get good money for it on normal mode, but easy mode makes it just in my opinion just a little bit too easy in terms of generating income. Let's put this in. Let's see how much we make here. It offloads nice and quickly, that's for sure. That's just under 30 grand. 29,894. 839, sorry, not 829. The total that we got was 39,894. So just under 40 grand for the ketchup that we had produced, and that was for 12,000 litres of tomatoes, because we did clear the rest out. So 12,000 litres more. That's a good return. It's a good return. Cannot complain about that. Right, it was just me putting the cheese onto distribution. Right, so we got this fairly cheap silage tanker. Takes about 16,000 litres. Does say diesel on the side, but it is never used for diesel, and it loads silage just perfectly. So we do take a shortcut through our through our headland. If you remember, there was a little entry onto the road, and the biogap point, you can just catch it in the top left hand corner. It's a bit of a shortcut, cuts out the corner. And yeah, so we had between 60 and 70,000, can't remember exactly how much it was, litres of not silage, slurry. Slurry. Big difference between silage and slurry. In any case, yeah, 60,000. So we did quite a few trips up and down. I'm just showing you the one trip just to show you the route. I think this is about our 4th or 5th trip that we're doing already. It doesn't bring in a lot of money, about $1,700. But I think we did 5 trips, so it's almost another month's worth of loan and interest repayments. It's a laborious task. We're going to have to do it quite regularly. I don't think I'm going to be spreading slurry. We'll just move it to here. We may do 1 or 2, but yeah, it's just easier to fertilize as we sow, or as we plant, or as we seed, whichever way you want to call it. Yeah, also not the speediest offloading, but this will just form part of our daily chores during the winter. Yeah, so this first morning of the winter, as the snow falls, luckily the ground is still pretty warm, so snow's not settling yet, but I'm sure by the end of the day, and certainly by January, we will have a fairly thick layer of snow that we'll have to deal with. We're still going to have to get tomatoes and milk into town, so I'm not sure whether we'll have to move snow on the road into town. We're certainly going to have to move snow on in the farm area, so we'll get a snow blower, and yeah, so we'll have some daily chores. We'll see how long they all take, how many episodes we can condense them into. We might try and do the whole of winter in one reasonably 40 or 45 minute length episode, and then get back into the summertime or the springtime. Hopefully it won't be too long before we be harvesting the wheat, and then by the end of next summer, by the end of next autumn, should I say, we should have our first pizzas produced. Right, so that's the trip for the slurry. Nearly said silage again. I tell you, my brain, once I get these words in my head, there's no stopping it. Right, so we're just going. I think there's some more cotton to bring in. Just pop up to the sheep shed, go and pick up the cotton, and then we'll just top up the feed, cow's feed, and the sheep after we've done that. Yeah, it's not the speediest machine getting up and down there. I was aware that the storing of the warehouse is a little bit of a trek, should we say, from the sheep shed to the hangar the hangar barn, if you want to call it that, the hangar storage warehouse stroke workshop. And yeah, we'll just load this up. So it would be alright if we get 1,000 litres a day. We'll get a decent load up. Get 12,000 litres, get a full trailer load, and then we'll go and sell it to the cotton mill. I don't think we'll get involved in clothing at this point in time. We do need to have stuff that generates income as well as production supply chains. I think I'll also pack away the augers. For the winter, I'll just bring them down, put them next to sheds. I don't think we'll have any space to still store them under cover or anything like that. Right, we'll just get this parked up and then we'll jump on the tractor and we'll just do one quick top-up load. We'll do two, but we'll show one of the top-up loads. I did say I was going to see if we could reverse the direction of TMR mix, and I did look at it, and yeah, I don't think it's going to be feasible to just top up with TMR. In other words, put a load of straw and a load of alfalfa hay in, and then just top off with silage. It just doesn't bring us into the right proportions because the bales are too big, basically. So we'll stick with the way that we were doing it. We'll just have we'll put a bale of hay in. We'll put between 8 and 9,000, high 8,000, just under 9,000 litres of silage into the TMR mixer, and then we'll add a bale of hay, and we'll also add and then we'll just top off with straw. So we will have half bales or quarter bales, or we'll have little bits and pieces of straw left over. It's not too much of a problem, you just got to remember to clear those first, just so that we don't left with hundreds of half bales or partial bales in the baling shed. Just having a look, so we've got about 90,000 litres of silage, so we've got 200,000 litres of chaff, so we've got plenty of that. Now there was an interesting video by Farmer Cop where he had a look at whether you actually need to feed TMR to get decent production of milk. I was aware that for beef cattle TMR is not necessary, just good hay, and you get that you get good profit out of your beef stock. But I was always under the impression, and I never thought to actually check it to see whether if we fed just hay and not TMR, how that would affect the milk production. And he did an exercise in that very interesting video. I'll link it in the description for you to check out. Really interesting. It's only about 12-13 minutes long, but very interesting. A lot of work went into producing it. Worth a watch. And we're certainly going to change our operation in terms of feeding our dairy herd and just put it to the test. But we've still got a lot of chaff and silage to get through first before we get around to that. Right. get that all sorted out, unloaded. Yes, our stocks are good. We did finish, and we got about 50 more grass bales in into storage from the headlands that we did towards the end of last month. I didn't show it or record it, did it off camera. It was a reasonably quick job. We also bought a weeder, which I didn't show, and weeded the first wheat field, and it's only partially weeded. We're still going to have to put some herbicide on, and I think once again in the future we're just going to deal with herbicide on that, because we're playing precision farming. It doesn't use a lot of herbicide because it's spot sprays, so we'll sell the weeder we bought. Yeah, so we got a partial bale, and then we'll get another partial bale out left behind. It's not that much of a problem because we're so close to the bale shed, and we have a pretty efficient loading and mixing operation going. I think, come to think of it, I think we'll still keep the TMR stuff on the farm, even though we might perhaps just feed hay. Oh, we'll see. It's just such a part of dairy farming, mixing TMR. It's a pity that it doesn't, that you don't see the benefit in the milk production. I think it's probably a problem really in terms of the game. It should be looked at. There's no ways you should not be getting better milk production if you're feeding better food. No ways. And of course, I wonder whether well, no, I'm not gonna go there now. I'll leave you to watch that first, and then the Farmer Cop video, and make up your own mind. But the more I think about it, the more I think I'm still going to do TMR just for dairy's sake. Maybe we'll do a mixture. We'll see. It's my mind running off at different tangents. Right, so that's that full. We've still got quite a bit left in that bale. We'll just leave it out here and we'll do another load once we've done this. Right, let's just get this all connected up. Go and feed. And I think that's where I'm going to finish off this video. This first day of winter was a lot busier than I expected, which I loved. Should have opened the door, you nincompoop. Yeah, that's inefficient. Yeah, let's go off that as, and then we'll call it a day. We'll still do another load of this. We'll check out the sheep, and we'll see you in the next episode. Thank you so much for watching. If you've enjoyed it, please like and subscribe, and we'll catch you in January. Well, maybe not. We might still have more work to do in December. We'll see. Thanks for watching. Cheerio.